have this box here. We have this box here. This is all brand new and sealed, this box here. And then this really cool box here. Now, in total, all of those boxes added together have been listed on eBay for just over $6,000. Okay, so currently on my way to kind of an interesting video game deal I found on Facebook. So there's a woman about an hour away from where I am, so I'm doing that drive now, with like a load of Xbox 360 bits. There's like a lot of your standard sort of, you know, pre-owned Xbox 360 games, but then there's like at least 100 brand new sealed ones as well. And there's some really interesting titles in there. It's not all just like a sealed copy of Battlefield 4. Like there's some Forza Horizon, some interesting ones like Vampire Reign from what I can remember. And there's also some collector's editions as well. Some like proper big ones like the Cabela's Hunters with like the guns and that. Some of those are sealed too. Anyway, I asked her like what she reckoned on everything, and she said she didn't really know. So I was like, well, can you like give me a ballpark or something? And she was like, well, you know, obviously I can't sign up for like 100. I was like, yeah, don't worry. I'm more than happy to pay up for them. They look great. So she said like sort of 1,000 to 1,500. I said, yeah, I don't think I'd be too far away from that. I didn't really want to, you know, look up everything individually. That's just a waste of time. So I said, yeah, I think I should be close to that. So is it cool if I just come over in like an hour or so, and we'll figure it out from there? And so that's what we're doing. So hopefully this will now cut to a video of me having everything back at my flat and showing you everything we bought. And if not, then you won't see this video at all. So yeah. That was much more than I was expecting. I spent more than I was expecting, but I think I also got more. I was saying to the guy I bought it off, who was a really nice guy, that like it's always really hard to know with like such a big lot. In total, there were probably around 350, probably about 350 games in total, I'd say. And you know, you're hardly going to be pricing each individual game, especially when, you know, there was like 100 sealed games, where the last sold on one of those might have been like 3 years ago, like a sealed copy of whatever collector edition. And so it's even on those individual items, it can be really hard to price. So anyway, I got there. I thought that he was after around 1,500 for everything. So that's all the sealed games, the collector editions, and the pre-owned games. Turns out he was wanting that on the sealed games. So I kind of thought, all right, I don't know. Like, I would have been probably happy around $1,000 on those, but I wasn't entirely sure at 1,500. So I thought that the best way to do this would be to start with what I know I can pay really well on, which is what I know best, which is the pre-owned games. So like I know the vast majority of Xbox 360 titles and their rough prices. So I looked through all of those. There were around, I don't know, 200 of those. I offered him $450 for all of those and a couple of collector editions, because I knew that I can pay really well on that, and he seemed really happy with that price. So I was kind of like, in part letting him know that like I'm not trying to lowball you, but also to get the deals going, sort of thing. So he very happily accepted that offer on those. And then so for the sealed stuff, he was still after 1,500, right? There were a few other like collector edition type things, which I'll show you after this cut, which I didn't really know the price of, but I knew they were good. So I said, okay, so we're at $450 on the pre-owned. He wanted 1,500 for the sealed. So I was like, okay, if we chuck in these collector editions and these other bits as well, can we do $2,000 on the lot? So like, you know, the stuff I wanted to throw in was obviously worth more than 50 quid, right? Because, you know, it would have been 1950 for the sealed plus the 450 on the pre-owned. But I actually learned this from Phoenix Resale Quick Flips in America, I know he used to do a similar negotiation tactic. I think he called it a foot in the door, where like you start making deals and stuff that you can pay really well on, and then you move to the stuff you're not so good with, and you also try to bundle as many things in at once, which is what I went for. And I mean, $2,000's a nice easy number as well, and it'll probably do well for the video title or whatever. But yeah, we ended up doing that, bank transferred the money, and loaded all the stuff in the car. As you can see over there, it's kind of packed. So yeah, I just got to get all that into the flat now, because we really need to buy a flipping house. But but yeah, I'll show you afterwards everything. Well, I'll show you roughly everything we got, and I don't know what it's worth, but it's more than $2,000. Okay, so I'm back at the flat. It's a couple days later. I've had time to process some bits. Here is all of the seal, well, most of the seal. So we have this box here. We have this box here. This is all brand new and sealed, this box here. And then this really cool box here. Now, in total, all of those boxes added together have been listed on eBay for just over £6,000. Now, obviously, I have my fees and postage, and some of them I'll take offers on. So let's say really conservatively about $4,000. I think is kind of reasonable on that after all of my costs. Like, you know, I'm talking packaging materials, I'm talking discounts, I'm talking platform fees, I'm talking taxes, right? Some really cool standouts here. Some of these Forza collector's editions, these three here, are all worth about $200 to $300 each, which is kind of crazy. Over here, that Dirt 2 is actually worth quite a lot, interestingly enough. Tomb Raider's quite good. This one, let me show you this one real quick. This is an awesome one. Is this Final Fantasy Lightning Returns Steelbook, brand new sealed. I think that might be up for about $300, which again, some of it I am expecting to take offers on, but like there's no sealed copies online, and often they're in Europe if they are brand new sealed, and so they haven't got like English as the main language, and so obviously it means the English one is worth more. Other standouts, some of the Forza Horizons are quite good. Saw 2, Armored Core, Infinite Undiscovery is pretty expensive. Tales of Vesperia actually isn't as expensive as I was expecting. And this box is not quite as interesting as the others, to be fair. There's also loads of pre-owned games. Some of them I will be selling on Amazon, and they're ready to go. And then we also have some other collector editions which I haven't listed yet. So for example, we have this South Park Stick of Truth Grand Wizard Edition, brand new sealed. We have other random collector editions like this Assassin's Creed one. We have this Driver San Francisco collector pack. We have this Soul Calibur collector edition, Black Ops 2 Hardened edition, this Far Cry 2 with a brand new sealed t-shirt in it, which is pretty cool. And these are some other bits that will be going on eBay from the collection. This is actually that one, it wasn't from the collection, but like this BlazBlue collector edition is pretty cool. That's San Andreas. Is pretty expensive. Simpsons games worth like 50 quid, maybe slightly less than 50 quid. And then there are some other cool bits as well, like this fight pad. I think it's worth around 100 quid. What else do we have? We have this Cabela's survival thing. It's got a gun in it, and there's another one as well for dangerous hunts that I have here. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. I think in total value, including a lot of like, there's a lot of like pre-owned Xbox 360 games, which aren't huge in value, but there's like at least a couple hundred of them that I'm probably going to be auctioning on Whatnot. So even if we say they might go for like £2 on average each, let's just say conservatively, then that's like another, let's just say 500. So $6,000 on the sealed, 500 on that. The other collector editions and pre-owned good bits, let's say another $2,000. I think about $8,500 is a pretty fair estimate in total listed value. And then if we're talking like what I will actually get from everything after my fees, after my taxes, after my shipping and everything. I think £5 grand, maybe £6 is a pretty fair estimate. And so, you know, 2 grand in, let's say we get 5 grand out, that's 3 grand profit. Obviously, I've got to sit on them, I had to list them and everything, but that's not the biggest deal in the world. But considering it only took me a day to process the majority of everything, that's like, I mean, I work long hours, but like, I don't know, let's say 8 hours worth for all of that. What, like, if we add the other time to process everything to, like, let's just say 20 hours, that's like just over £100 an hour, which is good. Obviously that's business money, but like that's still good. So yeah, I think it was a good buy. Let me know what you think. I think I paid very fairly. The guy was very happy with the price I paid him, and obviously he got to sell everything in one go. Obviously, I will be trying to maximize the value of most things. But yeah, I don't know. Cool collection buy. I want to buy more collections. If you have a collection and you're in the UK and you want to sell it, let me know.